All right, let's talk about Russell Wilson. Obviously, I don't have to set up Russell Wilson. We all know the story. He was, great for his whole career, comes to Denver, has an awful season. So, very interested in seeing how is he going to play into preseason. His first preseason game, he looked solid. Didn't have time to make a video on that one, but making a video about this one against San Francisco. The concept on the screen is going to be a man coverage play. It's cover one play, cover one hole actually, where kind of over the middle, nothing is, they have several guys, a safety and a linebacker covering that middle of the field, other 5 defenders, each playing man coverage, 4 players rush the passer, that makes 11. Russell Wilson takes the snap, looks over, towards the middle of the field and doesn't love what he sees. Unfortunately, we're just on broadcast footage, so we can't see exactly what Russell Wilson sees, but it does look like there's not really anything open, just given his reaction. Also, to make matters worse, that guy, a defender who's rushing towards the quarterback, and this could be a tough situation for Russell Wilson. And before I show you what happens, let's remember what Russell Wilson used to be when he was at his best. Kind of what were the positives we would talk about with Wilson? It was almost always his playmaking stuff. That's not to say he couldn't be a good game manager as well. He certainly did that effectively for Seattle, but it kind of felt like when he was at his best, it was him getting outside the pocket, finding someone who's open, making off-balance throws, stuff like he's about to do right here. Watch him just, look at what he's able to do on this play. It's really effective play by Russell Wilson to be able to pull something like that off. And this is, I think, what gets you a little bit excited if you're a Denver fan. The fact that he's making these types of plays again. It's not, we saw flashes last year of him doing that, but we saw that in this game for sure. Sometimes in weirder ways. Like heading over here, so this is going to be a 2nd down and 9 situation. It's zone coverage, quarters coverage, and kind of the way it works for Wilson is he's going to look down the field first, and if he doesn't love what he sees, then looks underneath for a check down. That's how his read is supposed to go on this play. So, Wilson takes the snap, he jots back, looks down the field, and doesn't love what he sees. So, okay, no issue. Let's just hit the halfback who's about to run out. Let's try to make that happen. However, there's pressure coming, and for him to get his full windup would be dangerous, right? What if someone reaches out and knocks the ball away? You don't want to have to deal with that situation. Watch what Wilson does. Watch him step up and then shovel pass it, which, that's a little dangerous, right? That could have been a disaster. Ends up being a completion, so I guess you take it. But this is the reality is, when Russell Wilson does this stuff, it far more often than not works out and ends up being a good thing that he's doing it. So, to me, I would still look at this as a positive from Russell Wilson. And if you're a Denver fan, I would think of it as something that's positive that he is doing. And also, going over here, a big chunk of what we saw that was, I think, impressive from Wilson was his running ability. He was running the ball pretty consistently in this game. He was using his legs to find ways to pick up first downs, which, that's something that, like I said, when he was at his best in Seattle, his legs were a significant part of his game. And I think some people have worried, well, now that he's getting a little bit older, does he still have that ability in him? Well, yeah, he had 3 rushes in this game. This was one of them. Watch how when this play begins, it's a heavy blitz right here. And again, maybe you could throw it underneath. Actually, I think that would probably be a pretty decent idea. But at the same time, if you have an open window to run with the football, why not just run with the football? Wilson is going to, in fact, do that, and he is able to pick up a first down and then some. Look at him go before eventually stepping out of bounds. Really good stuff from Wilson. And again, it's something that makes you think, okay, yeah, this was the Russell Wilson I remember. This was the improvisational kind of guy who was able to just make things happen, and he's able to do it there. Like this one's another one, maybe even a better example of him doing that, where the way the play concept is designed to work is it's zone coverage that San Francisco is in, and it's really going to be kind of the shallowest route on this play that they're hoping that gets open, the halfback's route. It's almost a designed check down where you have multiple players run deeper routes to try and push San Francisco players further deep. You throw underneath and can pick up some yards that way. The issue, you're playing San Francisco. They're pretty good at covering this stuff. Watch how when this play begins, you see Wilson takes the snap, looks over, and again, he could make this throw, I suppose, but I wouldn't advise it. There's not really a lot of room for the receiver to run. It's a 2nd down and 5 here, unlike the last play, which was 3rd down. This one, you don't have to get the first down, but you would like to. As you see, Wilson is going to step up, and he doesn't quite, looks like they marked him just shy of the first down. but I don't know, kind of looked like to me like he got the first down. It was at least very close and a very good play from Russell Wilson to be able to pull that kind of thing off. And also, something like this was surprising to me, where this is going to be another running play. It's the last one, I promise. But it's very fascinating that they're doing this. Because you see how I've set up these concept on the screen, you might be wondering, wait a second, what's the passing play? It's not a passing play. It's a designed quarterback run, which, again, Seattle would do sometimes. I thought Denver, I think I saw a time or two, if my memory serves me correctly, but I didn't think I saw it that much last year. Again, maybe it's fresher in Broncos fans' minds. You can let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I didn't see a ton of designed quarterback runs. So the fact that they're trying a designed quarterback run here in the preseason, to me, maybe tells me like, hey, Sean Payton's the head coach. He's the guy who sort of was the inventor of the Taysom Hill position. He does know how to coach a running quarterback, so it wouldn't be shocking if he decides to run a decent amount of these types of plays. And the way this one works is you have multiple Denver players blocking those guys off of the edge. I have circled a 49ers player in white. That player is the key player to watch here, because Russell Wilson is going to run to play action, is going to fake a handoff, and then he's going to keep the ball himself and run towards the bottom of the screen. If the player I've circled in white reads this play correctly and gets to the outside, he could potentially tackle Russell Wilson for a loss. But if he doesn't read it correctly and he steps too far in to try and prevent a potential handoff, then Russell Wilson could be on the outside with a blocker for everyone in the area except for the safety who is very far down the field. So watch how when this play begins, he got himself out of position, right? Russell Wilson gets to the outside, and he has room to run now. As you see, Russell Wilson does do a good job of going to the outside. There was a hold, so it didn't really matter, but it was still a very good play from Russell Wilson. And more than anything, it just kind of shows the fact that I think it maybe gives us a little bit of an insight into what Denver might be thinking of. They might be, wanting to do these types of plays more frequently. Now, it was not a perfect game, and this is something that I don't know what happened here. I really don't with Russell Wilson, so I wanted to bring it up. It's going to be a cover 2 man. You have a receiver running a deep route. Okay, well, usually these types of plays aren't great on paper, but who knows? Maybe the safeties end up kind of each going too far towards the sideline, and over the middle you have an opening down the field. Russell Wilson's going to take the snap. He's going to look in that direction and fire in that direction. And as we see, there is a window to make this throw. So, this is certainly very good. And again, one asterisk I just do have to put on this is there was a period of time on this play where they were off screen. It's possible that Russell Wilson made the throw and then, the receiver made a little bit of a move and slowed himself down, and that's why this is off. But the throw is off, and Wilson has missed way too many deep balls, considering the fact that that used to be his thing, right? Was like he did great work at improvising plays, and also he had a great deep ball. Like those were the two things he was known for. Well, right here, this was not a great deep ball, and I don't know exactly if that's just, again, it's one play in a preseason. I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but given that we kind of saw it last year as well, I don't know why the deep ball accuracy has seemingly gone down a little bit. I'm hopeful it's just a fluke, but we'll see. As a whole, this was a good game from Wilson. I think this was a game that gets you excited if you're a Denver fan that perhaps Sean Payton has fixed Russell Wilson. Who knows how all this stuff works? But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Wilson and his performance. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.